Yeah, for the DBs though, our schedule is pretty like regimented.
Because y'all got that meeting in the morning.
We wake up, meet in the morning, and of course Monday, Wednesday we lift right after, and then class, and then you go right into lunch and then practice. So I mean that in that sense has been very regimented and very straightforward, pretty similar to West Point. I think another similarity could be probably just the attention to detail, obviously, in the program that we emphasize. That's something that is very important. Because you're in the Army and somebody gives you coordinates on where to drop a bomb, and you miss the coordinates. People die. That you don't want to die. So
you were doing that?
No, well, no. I'm just saying that's where I was gonna get to. That's where.
Right. That's
what I was working towards.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You were practicing and
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Like during summer training and stuff like that, we would have people come in and teach us how to do that type of stuff. So. What's up, Wahoos? This is UVA DB Donovan Platt, your host of The Fifth Side, and today I have a special guest, Mitchell Melton, aka Money Mitch.
Hey, thank you for having me on, man.
For sure. So, just tell me about the season so far, the success you've had in terms of pretty much damn near leading the ACC in sacks. Being one of the top edge rushers right now in college football. How have you been able to bring that success to UVA?
Well, I got to give the sack king the leadership to give it to Rick. Okay. He's led the team. I think he's top in the conference in sacks. But it's been good. Very interesting. My career thus far getting to this point, but thankful nonetheless. I think early on in the season I was kind of pressing, if that makes sense, and I felt like I was pressing to make plays, pressing to be that guy. But I think as time went on, as the games went on, I literally just took a step back and understood that my job will take me to where I want to go.
Right.
Like doing my job will put me in a position to make plays. So I just have to, each game, each play has to start with me doing my job. So I think that mentality has really been good. But it's been great. Adding a lot of great guys like you and Rick and all the guys on the D-line has been awesome. Really helped my job out. I think we have a lot of guys who have really come to work and I like to say they're willing to lead and willing to learn. So really just been taking that humble stance and really looking to work and be the best version of themselves for the team. So it's been great.
Exactly. I think bringing that veteran experience to the team that Coach Elliott has been able to do has just been awesome, really, just for the team and then also for the younger guys who, like you said, sometimes feel like they need to press to make plays or just, be someone they're not. And that's the main thing, just be understanding that as long as you do your job, the plays that you make, the routine plays will come to you.
Of course.
And I think that's a major thing that we've been able to emphasize and, has led to success.
Yeah. I think it's all a testament to Coach Elliott and his staff and the guys they sought after. I think have been nothing but great additions for the team, and I think it's really clear that they wanted a specific type of guy for this program, and it's showing up in a lot of different ways. And especially with the success we're having, it comes with the kind of person that they've recruited, and it shows up each week. So I'm really grateful to be a part of this team for sure.
For sure. So take me through your journey. Obviously, your previous school, kind of, your journey with football from yay high up to now.
Jump. Yeah. I've been playing football ever since I was 5. It seemed like I was supposed to because of how big of a kid I was, but it was just like one of those first love things, and then basketball came in the equation and kind of took that love away a little bit. But I'll never forget, it was my 8th grade year, and I was kind of like sick of football. I was like, I don't know if I really want to do this. I've been doing it forever. I'm tired of practicing and things like that. And I didn't go to like the first week of practice, and my dad was like, well, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm gonna play basketball. He was like, you're gonna be 6'4" max. You're not gonna be no 6'4" power forward. So then 2 days later I go out to practice, and it's one of the more fun seasons I've ever had, and it kind of renewed that love for me. But just kept going through it. I grew up crazy enough, I grew up in Silver Spring, Maryland, but I grew up as an Ohio State fan.
Okay.
So both my parents are from Ohio, so it kind of was embedded in me. So when I was recruited in high school, it was kind of hard to look anywhere else but Ohio State. So I remember when they first got me that offer, I'll never forget. I went to a Catholic school, so we had Mass. It was like the first month or Tuesday of the month or whatever it was. And one of my coaches texted me. He's like, Ohio State's in the room. Come see me. I'm excited and nervous. I go down the stairs. I go in the room. and it's a linebacker coach. And he was like, well, I don't want to keep you long, so I'm going to let you know we're extending an offer to you. Wow. And I took a second. I looked at my coach. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I took a breath, and I went outside. I jumped up and down and stuff. It was just a lot of excitement. And ever since then, I kind of, I had like a zone focus, you know what I mean? Like just like zoned in on Ohio State. Which, looking back, I kind of, wish I took more time to look at other schools and really understand the process and what I needed for myself at that time. But all I saw was Ohio State. But I'm still very thankful for all the relationships and memories I made with that school. But, it wasn't without adversity, and I think that taught me a lot. Because in 21, I tore my left ACL, and in 22, I tore my right. So it's kind of those setbacks kind of made me who I am today. But I'm very grateful and thankful for the adversity because it allowed me to respond, you know what I'm saying, in a way that could be better for my life and teach me a lot of things about myself, for sure.
Exactly. And you talk about that adversity. What are the key lessons that you think that you took out of, having to go through, 2 rehab processes, 2 processes that, are obviously hard to come back from?
Right. Yeah, I think, like I said before, the biggest thing was response, but also understanding the plan that God has for me. Understanding that, it's not always going to work the way that, you want it to work out. I always tell people that my expectations pale in comparison to reality, so what I expected to happen never was really going to happen the way I wanted to. And I understand it. It's not about what I expect, but it's about how I take what is dealt to me and how I respond to it. So I think really I'm grateful and blessed for those injuries and those years of recovery because they taught me a lot about myself. And they taught me who I was without football, which I think was really important because that self-image is so predicated on what I do on the field. But to have that stripped away from me really made me find out who I was outside and what I am without the sport. And I'm grateful for that. But yeah, I think the biggest thing I learned was just like, you're not going to always control what's happening to you, but what you can control is your response. So just responding the best way and putting my best foot forward in everything I'm doing.
For sure. And, obviously, you got a natty out of
Ohio
State. I mean, that's something that you can't forget, and I'm sure it was a great experience. So just walk me through that dynamic. Obviously, y'all had a pretty highly paid roster, probably the highest paid roster in college football last year. But just take me through like that experience of winning that, and then just also, being in the locker room with those guys, and what was the mentality going into that game?
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot that went into it, a lot of things we had to overcome to get to where we wanted to be, which is obviously the national championship. But I think the guys and the leaders of that team really kept that vision of the success and the greatness we could be at the forefront. So whenever there were some things that didn't go our way or we lost the game, like the Oregon game, we had to really take a second to understand who we wanted to be and how we wanted to execute, that vision of who we are. But it was great. I mean, when you come to Ohio State, those kind of things are expected. Like national championships are expected. So when you fall short, you feel like the weight of the world on your shoulders, and especially with our coach and the expectations that they have for him. We kind of feel that or felt that in the locker room. But, I mean, the guys that on that team were, I think, second to none mentality-wise. Like, they understood the pressure and what it takes, but also the privilege of that pressure. So I think, I don't know, I love those guys. I love that team, and I always will. But I'm excited to be on this team, and I love these guys I'm with now because I know we can achieve great things. Exactly. So just looking forward to that.
For sure. And going through your portal process, take me through, how crazy or how quick was it? And then also, what drew you to Coach Elliott?
Yeah, my portal process was very, very interesting. It kind of was reminiscent of my freshman year of college, with the COVID. I say that because I asked to go into the portal while our season was still going on. So I asked like before the Tennessee game. And, excuse me, it was weird because like I would have a Tuesday practice, hitting people for 3 hours, and then I come home and I get on the Zoom.
Wow.
Excuse me, to talk to like 3 coaches. So that was interesting to say the least. But I think the biggest thing with Coach Elliott and his staff is just the way they handled that process. They were very, very transparent and accepting towards my process and where I wanted to be at that time, especially with my career. And they were very, like I said, transparent with what they needed from me and what they needed for the team. So it just married up pretty well. And I think the conversations we had were very open, and that wasn't always the case with any other schools I talked to, and I thought that was something that would carry over when I got to the school, when I built that relationship with Coach Elliott, which is definitely the case. So, if anything, it gave me a great vibe of what the school could be and what he was building. And I give all the credit to him, and the success that he has all goes back to who he is as a person. So I knew that when I was on that Zoom call, you know what I'm saying, and talking with him and Slade and Coach Red. So yeah, it made it real easy to make that choice, even while having all those Tuesday practices.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was very good.
And Coach Elliott, I mean, if you guys don't know, is a great players coach. You know, he's gonna keep it real with you. Somebody who is really gonna, not hold anything back, and tell you what you don't always want to hear. And that's truly important, especially in this business and this age of college football.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but
good.
he's very. I remember he always talks about the 30-year-old version of ourselves, and I think that mentality is very, very. I don't. I'd say it's unique. I think it's very impactful, and it helps his kids understand the future that they hold outside of the sport that they're playing. So I think it's a lot testament to who he is and the character he, boasts and who he is as a person. So I give him all the credit for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to your Ohio State days, what are some of the key differences you see between Ohio State and being here at UVA, and then also what are some similarities that you see?
It's hard to find a difference, if I'm being honest. I think the biggest similarity that I see is like we're all starving for success, and I think it doesn't matter where you come from or where you're at. I think the mentality is still the same, that we want to be great. We want to have championships. We want to be the best of the best in everything we're doing. I think Ohio State did definitely have an emphasis on building that. It wouldn't necessarily say the 30-year-old version of yourself, but building yourself outside of the sport. And I think that's not very commonly found. But I also think the way that we hold competitive excellence here is very similar to where it was at Ohio State. It was basically just making a play when your number's called. And here you say competitive stamina, which is, continuing to make play after play after play when it's required. And I think that marries up very well, because it's all about understanding, like, when your number is called, you have to perform,
Right.
or else this is not the sport for you.
You don't lose your opportunity.
Yeah.
As
So
he says, yeah.
I guess just like that precedence on maximizing your opportunities here is definitely something I find very similar to where I was at before.
Gotcha. So Mitch, tell me more about you as a person outside of the game of football. Tell me, what you like to do, your hobbies.
I think I found some new hobbies being out here in Virginia. I picked up a little bit of fishing.
Okay.
Yeah, you look surprised.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's been very. I've been fishing with like Goldie, Kazim, and Fish a lot, and Billy too, and it's just been fun and relaxing to get out there and just try to catch the most fish out of everybody. It's been like a good competitive, but still very calming at the same right. Also golfing, which I didn't know if I had that in me.
Yeah.
My roommate back at Ohio State, he was a huge golfer. He would just he would go to the driving range a lot, and I would just come because I was bored. But I never really cared to actually work on my swing. But now I wish I did. Yeah. Because we used to golf a lot in the summer, and it was actually I felt like an adult. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm realizing all the business that could be done on the golfing side. So it's been
rich people.
Yeah, and that's how they stay rich, on that golf course. So I definitely take some time to figure out who I am outside of football and things like that. But I think another thing that I love is just movies. You know what I'm saying? I can talk about movies for hours. So if there's ever a downtime or a time where I don't have anything to do, I put on a movie or debate somebody about the better movies. But yeah, I'd say movies, fishing, and golfing are my biggest things. What about you, bro? What do you like to do?
Well, me, movies has been another thing that I've picked up on.
Okay.
Being here where I live alone now
at
West Point, I had two roommates at all times.
How do you feel about that? Before you I feel because me, I've always had a roommate. From when I first got here, we had three other roommates, and then when the next 3 years, I had just two, and then there was one roommate. And I feel like that, I don't know, coming home, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you walk home and that's my roommate, let me go talk to my roommate. Right. And it's now it's I come home and I'm talking to myself. Exactly. And I don't feel I don't feel good sometimes. Or it doesn't feel, don't feel normal. Right, exactly. And I'm kind of it feels like I'm more of an adult now than ever. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, kind of the same way. It feels like I'm an adult. It feels like I'm, I guess finally coming of age to where I can, be on my own for a little bit. Right. It can kind of get I wouldn't say depressing, but boring.
Right. Mundane a little bit.
Yeah, right. You come in and you're like, wow, okay. Well, I won't speak it to anybody until 10 o'clock.
I gotta call somebody.
Yeah, I gotta call somebody. So I usually spend my time calling people, family, friends, whoever it may be. People from back at West Point. I'll call them sometimes, see how they're doing. And then also just trying to build relationships with the people that are on my team now. So Jordan Robinson, he stays in the same building as me. So sometimes I hang out with him a little bit, or like I said, watch movies. Film is something that I don't know. I watched film at West Point, but now that I'm on my own, I feel like I have more time and I have a better platform where I can connect it to my team. And less distraction where I can really zone in on it. And then also I like going just out in nature really.
Like a good nature walk.
Yeah, exactly. Because
that's a good feeling right there.
Being at West Point, it's Army. So in the summertime, you're already in nature, whether you want to be or not. Yeah. So, it's actually, I guess, liberating to go out there and be able to do it on my own terms and be able to walk, through a trail or go up to the mountains. And
self-reflection.
Go to the peak. You got to be safe, obviously.
Of course.
Ain't no telling what's out there.
You ain't going to be in danger. Look at you. I guess my question is, what drew you to West Point? You know what I'm saying? I understand. Recruiting is a mess in itself. But I understood what stood out to you that made you think, okay, West Point is the place for me. Because I feel like it's not a very inviting place more times than not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just
So my recruiting was pretty interesting. I only had 2 offers.
Oh,
okay. As Army and Navy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
it's a lot to pick from.
Exactly. Right. So in terms of picking a school and somewhere where I wouldn't have to pay for school. I mean, those were the 2 options. I had a couple schools because it was during COVID. So I had a couple schools that I was lined up to take visits at and see if they were going to offer, but I just never got the chance to. So Army and Navy were the schools that remained that through it all said we want you. And I took a visit to Army and kind of, I wouldn't say fell in love, but I was like, okay, I could do this.
Yeah.
Even though I knew it would be hard, I knew it would have a bunch of adversity, which it did. I said, okay, I can go through this, and they had a great coaching staff. They still do. That I knew I could mesh with, and I went, was able to play early. That was another thing, and contribute, and that was the main thing. I knew that the academics would be hard. Just the daily life of going through academics, going through the military obligations, and then also, going to football practice would be very strenuous.
It's a lot.
But
about a student athlete, man. That's crazy.
It is. But
soldier student athlete.
Yeah. Cadet athlete, as we called it.
No, you
good. But it's an awesome place. It really is. Just the lessons it taught me, kind of like what you were talking about with Ohio State. Just it really teaches you discipline, obviously, and then just also how to deal with adversity on a daily basis, and then also how to use your resources around you in the right way to be able to overcome and just continue to improve. So
it's a great answer. I love that. Yeah. I think for me, I was too caught up in the dream of where I was going that I couldn't even fathom me contributing to the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? I hear about you contributing early and playing early. And I was crazy. When I first got there, I couldn't even imagine playing. Because I get there in COVID and it's Justin Fields, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, defense had Jonathan Cooper, Baron Browning, just guys. They had a lot of guys. And it was just it was kind of like a culture shock for me. I was I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm here and I'm surrounded by these legends of the game. You know what I mean? So I'm where it took a second for me to realize my worth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's good for you where you came into that and immediately you were you had worth. You know what I'm saying? Whereas me, I didn't even imagine playing until after my second ACL surgery. And I realized I have to do this. This is my dream, so I have to fight for it. So it's very interesting. So I don't know. For me, I'm always trying to not reinvent, but keep myself motivated in that sense, and then not get
complacent.
Complacent or weighed down by whatever is actually happening around me instead of who I am. So I think, how do you, in a day-to-day basis with the adversity that you face, how do you continue to build that mental fortitude?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Just in terms of the, like you said, pressure that you feel. Sometimes it's real. Sometimes it's made up in your mind.
Right.
And I think that's the hardest thing, is just like being able to decipher like what's real and what's not. And if it's pressure that is valid, or if it's just something trying to hold you back from your greatness and what you want to do. I think that the way I was able to do it on a daily basis was really just pouring into the guys around me, and then also them pouring back into me, and just being able to understand that we're all here together. Right. I can't do it alone, and that's just how it is. And I think that's one of the main things that I'm trying to continue to grow in here at UVA, because obviously it's a bunch of new guys, 32 I think transfers that came in. Yeah. So I mean, you really don't have that basis of people that you really know. And then just being frank, everybody's not going to be your friend. Everybody doesn't have the same mentality and mindset that you have. So you have to learn, who is someone you can rely on and someone that you can, pour into. That's not going to try to, snake you or anything like that. But
of course,
I think that's the key thing, and being able to stay motivated, and also having that internal, like you said, intestinal fortitude to continue just striving to be the best you want to be. Exactly. And I think that's big for me. Whether just coming from the American Conference to the ACC, it's just different competition. It's something that I knew would be a test, and it's something that I wanted. That was one of the reasons I left Army, and just using that as motivation. Like, okay, I'm here now. Now what? Now what's next? But also it's hard because it's a contrast. With what's next and also staying in the moment, and being able to.
No, that's definitely the biggest thing I've learned. Just that the power of presence. You know what I'm saying? Being where your feet are. Like, because we've been in college for about 10 years now. We've been doing this for a minute. So it's hard to not look. It's hard to not look to the future or not look to like everything else that's not happening right in front of us. But I think the power that comes with just like understanding, like, I'm right here, I'm sitting here, I'm doing this interview with you, I'm enjoying this moment. It's a Tuesday, what we got, but you still know, like, I got to do today, or I got to do right now. You know what I'm saying? So it brings peace of mind, and I've realized how powerful that is, because it's a lot of times like before a game, like, guys like to get amped up or like juiced up or like just like hella motivated and aggressive. But for me, it's like, I want the opposite. Like, I want to be calm, and I want to like exude that peace of mind. So I know, like, I'm going to do my assignment the way I need to do it, and not overexert myself because I think I need to.
Exactly.
So it's just, and I also like when you said, not everybody's going to be your friend, because it's, especially coming here, like, my mentality was just like, early on, it wasn't necessarily like you get everyone to like you, but like every person I meet, I want them to like me, inherently. And I feel like I had to navigate that, you know what I'm saying, and figure out why that I feel like I need to be liked by these people that I don't even know.
Right.
And it's hard because of the position we're in, where we're getting screamed at by, tens of thousands of fans, and it's a very stressful environment, but it's so validating, when you make a big play, it's like everyone's looking at you and screaming your name, but at the end of the day, you still got to make that play. And what it takes to get into that, and it's not going to happen by worrying about other people's feelings. And it took me a minute to realize that, because I can't be successful if I'm too busy worrying about if this coach or this other coach or these people like me. You know what I'm saying? So it's a very intrinsic process, but it's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
So
it is. Just speaking on, coaches and just if they like you or not, or how you feel about your relationship is with your coach now, Coach Slade. Yeah. How do you feel that relationship is going? And obviously he has a a pedigree. He played in the league for a while and did what he did. So how do you think that relationship is going?
It's been great. I mean, Slade's like one of the greatest ends we've ever had here at Virginia. His name is legendary, especially around this facility. I knew that coming. It was part of the reason why I came here, more so just getting that perspective of an NFL vet and a guy who's done it at the highest level and done it very well. Slade's a character, though, man. Yeah, that man is a character.
Great guy, though. Great guy.
He's a great guy. I think our relationship has grown definitely for the better over this time. You know, in the spring, I think we kind of were just trying to figure each other out, and his style and my style of play and how I can respond to his coaching. But I think with him, he's very, like, he's not going to hold anything back, and he's not going to, like, say anything to mince feelings. You know what I mean? Like that, trying to just, like, protect your feelings and the things that he's saying. He's very just upfront, honest, and respectful at the end of the day, which I appreciate. So I think we have a little, you know, I think we both have a large amount of competitive spirit, and it comes out and shows during practice. But I'm always ready to work and ready to go to war with him because I know he's doing the same for me.
Yeah.
And he's teaching me a lot, you know, about the game and outside of the game. So I can't be nothing but grateful. And he's been great for our unit for sure.
For sure.
So how's your coach then? You know, Coach Cox.
Coach Cox. You know, he's a character.
Yeah,
everybody knows that.
He actually went to my rival school.
Really?
Yeah, so he never was really good at football. But he's a character.
You know, somebody who, you know, you're not always supposed to like your coach. Just being honest. You know, you're not always gonna like them, but you gotta respect them, and you gotta respect, you know, what they're trying to do and what the message they're trying to, you know, get to myself and the rest of the players in the DB room. And you know, he does a good job of that. And you know, I respect him. He was very transparent, you know, through the recruiting process, and just basically show belief in myself. Belief in myself that I, you know, didn't really fully have in myself yet before I got here. And you know, I'm, you know, forever grateful for that. You know, he's someone who, you know, is like you said, just gonna keep it real with you. You know, it don't matter what. Every day he gonna have something to say.
Even when you don't want to hear it.
Yeah, even when you don't want to hear it, he gonna have something to say. And I can appreciate that. He's consistent. You know, and he's somebody who's gonna be himself. You know, no matter who's around.
Right.
So. Yeah, the relationship is going well, and obviously Coach Brown is in there as an analyst as well, and then Coach Rudd works closely with the DBs, and you know, we have like a, I guess, similar background. Of course, he graduated from Air Force, which was a rival of Army, but you know, just in terms of that, I guess, military mindset, you know, I've seen some parallels between us, and then, but yeah, so yeah, coach's staff has been smooth. That's for sure.
And I think it's interesting because, like, that military background that you possess, it carries over, I think, in college sports, especially in football.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know, like, do you like? Remember you asked me about the similarities. Like, do you see any similarities with where you came from and where you are now, especially in that military sense? And just go ahead.
Yeah. I think definitely, at least for me, the schedule. Which is odd. You know, some people will be like, "What do you mean?"
They would not think that. I think the opposite.
For the DBs though, you know, our schedule is pretty like regimented.
Because y'all got that meeting in the morning.
Yeah, we wake up, meet in the morning, and of course Monday, Wednesday we lift right after, and then class, and then you know you go right into lunch and then practice. So I mean that in that sense has been very regimented and very, you know, straightforward. Pretty similar to West Point. I think another similarity could be probably just the attention to detail, obviously, in the program that we emphasize. That's something that, you know, is very important, you know, because you know, you're in the Army and, you know, somebody gives you coordinates on where to drop a bomb and you miss the coordinates, you know, people die, you know, that you don't want to die, you know, so
you were doing that?
No, I'm just saying, like, that's where I was going to get to. You know, that's where...
Right, that's where
that's what I was working towards.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You were practicing and, like...
Exactly,
wow.
Yeah, like during summer training and stuff like that, we would have people come in and teach us how to do that type of stuff. So, yeah.
Here's my thing. I'm thinking, like, you went to West Point, but you there to play football.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, no... You there working and training to drop bombs on people.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Real good. We was out there in the field.
You was in the field.
Yeah. For nights on end.
Like fall camp.
Right.
So this was separate than fall camp.
Yes.
So what was the timetable on that? You know what I'm saying?
You spring semester, right?
Yeah.
You get out of exams, and you go straight into summer training. So basically, we had to knock out summer training before we could even do anything football related. Like we would have our lifts and our spring ball or whatever in the spring semester. That completely stopped. Like football, that stopped for a good, just about month, just for military training. So we would go to boot camp. The first year, your plebe year as we call it, it's all like with the rest of the student body. So you're with like 1,000 other cadets doing stuff. It's a 6-week process. That's the longest one. And you just go through and basically you're being transitioned from a civilian to a soldier.
Right.
That's the big, emphasis on that.
Transition.
Yeah, transition. And then as you matriculate through the process or the program and you age into your second, third, fourth year, there you have like a cadet field training. You have a cadet troop leadership training, which is kind of like mirroring a officer at a particular base, and then you have your cadet leadership development training, which is the last thing you do, which is basically like small unit operations, ambushes, frontal assaults, all types of different things that that you would do in like a small unit operations, like assaulting through a objective, all that type of stuff.
You say it so casually, but you're like you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Do you understand what you're saying right now? Like you were just practicing like assaulting.
Yeah, killing people. Yeah.
The things that you did on a day-to-day basis, the things that I did, like the hardest part of my day sometimes at Ohio State was like ASL class or something. You know what I'm saying? Just like school. Yeah. But your school. Shaking Alfredo, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. It was wild. It was like I said, it's just the character that you build in those moments, and then just like wow, like what are we doing? Right. Like what are we doing?
It's like when you take a step back and realize like what is this?
Yeah,
and I do that sometimes at practice. Like it's just you get into the crazy parts of it. You just like remember. I don't want to talk down about it, but saber drill. I got my qualms with saber drill. You know what I'm saying? I remember the first time I did it. It was literally just head-to-head contact. Yeah. And I was like, it was like it's like so that I don't know. People don't know. It's like a offensive lineman, defensive lineman, linebacker, tight end, DB, receiver. Yeah. And they all go on one-on-one, head-to-head. And the quarterback hands the ball off, and he runs like through like a pad. It's like the most mutated Oklahoma drill you've ever seen in your life.
That's all it is.
And I thought at first like the point was to make the play. So I'm going in there. I forgot who I was going against, but I go there. I kind of like try to get extension. I see the ball, so I try to snag off, and all I hear is yelling. And I'm like, I'm thinking I just did my job. Yeah. I'm coming from a new place, so I'm not really understanding what's happening. But then I look around, everybody's like, why'd you do that? I'm like, what am I supposed to do? He's like, you're supposed to run through his face. So the next time I do it, I don't even worry about the guy. I literally just push him back, and I see the ball carrier running by me, but I hear everybody cheering. So I'm like, okay, it's a little different, but yeah. It's crazy.
Let's do let's get like the Slade's.
So, what's your favorite Chris Slade story?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but it's my most memorable. Like I said, dude's a character, man. I'll never forget. I think this was NC State week. You know how we have like that special teams before inside? Yeah. I'm not really on special teams, but my stomach was feeling some type of way. Okay. Right? So I was with the D tackles and Coach Downing. I told Coach Downing, yo, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I go to the bathroom. I'm there. I don't feel like I was there that long. You know, you try to. It's nothing worse than a pressurized bathroom trip. So I'm in there because I know it's gonna happen next. I need to get the inside, and I'm the first one out there. So I rush up. I try to clean up everything. I'm not even gonna get into that, but I try to go as quick as possible. I get out to the field, and inside is starting. Like it's like. They put the ball down, and offense is walking on the field. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna just walk out there and get my reps, get ready for the game that we got. I go out there and all I hear is no, get off. I'm like, who is saying that? He's like, nah, get 17 off. And I look over and I'm like, looking at Slade. He's got his hand on his hips, like, you ain't telling me you was leaving. You ain't telling me you was going to the bathroom. Get off. And I was like, Coach, I need my reps. He was like, I ain't trying to hear it. So then I slowly jog to the sideline. I'm mad at him for the rest of practice. Yeah. We barely talk, and then every time after that, he walks up to me. He's like, "You should have just told me." I was like, "Coach, I had to go." And he wasn't hearing it.
Sometimes ain't no time to tell.
Yeah, and I'm like, "This is a very pressurized moment. I ain't got time to waste." You know what I'm saying? But like I said about him, he's always gonna be himself. So he's always gonna have that. Like he has like a standard in the way he coaches, and you have to do things his way. Yeah, a lot of times. So now every time I gotta handle some business, I let him know beforehand. Exactly. I go out of my way. So. I definitely learned that for the future, but for sure. Grateful for the experience with him, for sure.
For sure.
Do you have a crazy cock story, or Is every day just a crazy day with him?
Yeah, that's every day. I really don't have anything yet. I know it's coming. It's coming. Yeah,
it's gonna be one you never forget.
Exactly.
That's how
exactly.
it is.
It's coming. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up, give me, you talked about your movies and how, you really came into, doing that here in Charlottesville and it's something that you relieve the pressure with somewhat. Mm-hmm. So to give me a top 3 movies that you like right now.
I said there's no harder question than the top 3 movies, man, because there's so many great ones.
It is.
I always go with Interstellar at first. My second answer, I'm going to do the trilogy of Oceans 11 through 13. I don't want to, because I think they're all equally great, and I love those movies. 3, toss up. You know what I'm saying? I could throw so many different movies in there. Yeah. I'm gonna just throw a couple at you, see how you feel. Spider Game, or not Spider Game? Wow, that's crazy. Endgame, Avengers Endgame, obviously is a classic. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse 2. And then there's a movie called Mid-90s. I doubt you've heard of it.
No, I haven't.
It's like this A24. It's like a movie about a kid trying to get into skating. Directed by Jonah Hill. I think it's top movie. So
solid.
What about you? What are your top 3?
Definitely I had to go with Fences with Denzel Washington.
That wouldn't hurt, man.
Yeah.
At a certain point, I'm like, golly.
Yeah. It was kind of like I'm pretty sure it's a play.
It turned into a movie. Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it.
Some great acting.
I like Get Out. That's a good movie. Funny enough. It's very, it's like, wow. But, but I enjoy that movie. And then also, I like Creed 3. Yeah. That's a good movie. I like that.
I never forget the Creed 2 that when he's trying to get back. Yeah. In the desert scene.
Yeah, that was tough.
That was hard. That was great.
That was tough. So,
great movies though.
Oh yeah. So, appreciate y'all coming on to listen to me and Mitch podcast, and appreciate y'all tuning into the Fifth Side once again. Sure. And thank y'all for coming.